Hey, good afternoon, everyone. So today I'm going to tell you about AWS SysOps. MindMajix gave me opportunity to tell about the course to complete on AWS SysOps for the participants. And let me introduce of myself. Graduated in National Institute of Technology, Warangal, having 3+ years of experience in IT industry, specialized in AWS DevOps, and I have been certified as AWS Solution Architect and Developer Associate. So today in this session, I'm going to cover what is AWS SysOps and then why is AWS SysOps. Okay. So the people, I would like to more focus on the roles and responsibilities, like what will be the AWS SysOps tool in them. So as in earlier videos, we have discussed about what is AWS and then, in the solution architect level and the developer level. So what is AWS developer can do. So in this session, I will be covering like what are all the AWS SysOps. SysOps means it is a system operator. So which means like let's say system related, the EC2 instances. Let's say your web application have been installed in your systems, right? So who is going to be like involving in the systems, like who for their web application, so system maintaining. So sysops is nothing but a system operator who is end to end. He will take care of the whole infrastructure of the like related to system security groups. He will check the securities, and he will do cloud watch. He will be doing monitoring. I mean, he is the operator. Like anything, you should take, if the solution architect should take permission of system operator, because like he is going to approve. System operator is like no admin kind of thing, who is able to approve the things to move on with the operations in that particular infrastructure. So this is what the system. Why system operator? Why AWS is means like see, there should be a controlling manager on the infrastructure, right? It's not like solution architect will do his work and developer do his work, but whether those two kind of roles are playing well or not. So for looking on the overview of the infrastructure and maintaining and doing security patching everything, so you need an operator guy who is going to look over all your infrastructures, right? So this is what about system operator is like. So this is what AWS SysOps. So I'll be telling you what I'm going to cover. To learn metrics and carefully monitor the health and utilization of AWS resources on full scale by making use of high complex and Amazon CloudWatch. So this is about the CloudWatch. I told you before, a system operator should, able to monitor the EC2 instances without downing. Your web application should not down. Let's say you have been, your application is running on particular EC2 instances. So that should not be down, right? Because once if it is down, your business is going to be in loss. So what you have to do is you should make sure your application is always up and running. So for that, you have to monitor your EC2 instance, because EC2 instance, if you monitor, so it will be up and running. Metrics will be like CPU utilization, network utilization, and then what do you say, disk storage, all these things. Your metrics, these metrics you are going to monitor with threshold frequency, like whatever the percentage you want to keep. If it crosses 80%, you have to get the alert to your mail, or like there are many things to do like that. So a SysOps operator, SysOps guy, AWS SysOps should be, he should be making sure that he is monitoring all the metrics in the by using CloudWatch. Okay, CloudWatch is a monitoring tool. Okay, EC2 instance in the sense it's a virtual machine. So maintaining a backup of the resources is a different important responsibility. The administrator has to perform AWS on-premises resource back from the time to time by making extensive use of AWS services. See, he should also able to make a backup in resources. Let's say something went wrong. So some of the team in that, there are many IAM users in the AWS account, right? So you'll be giving for developer access, for solution architect access, and then for viewing. just to read and write permissions. All those, there will be many users who is going to operate the account. But in case if in something resource have been deleted, you should also able to make sure that we have a backup for that. Okay. For example, we have easy to snapshots, EBS snapshot, which you can retrieve the data, like the whole data, right? So that is that kind of backups. And even elastic beanstalk, even if you're deploying something, you also have elastic beanstalk, the backups, the snapshots, which you can drive the data. So you can take the backup. It's a backup kind of thing. You can restore them, right? So those kind of rule the sysops is going to handle it. So I'll be explaining, I'll be much focusing on the overview of the infrastructure. So this is the advanced thing. It's not about the solution architect or developer course, but the sysops is like, you should able to maintain the infrastructure. Like it's in somewhat the experienced candidate should be learning this course, I guess, like, so to reduce the time required for production, and he should capable deploying automation infrastructure by using AWS cloud formation technique. Yeah. So earlier even I have been covering on cloud formation template, right? So if you want to manage your infrastructure, there are three ways you can deploy your services, right? You can deploy through console, you can deploy through cloud formation, and you can also deploy through CLI, command line interface, AWS command line interface. So why we are using cloud formation means to manage our infrastructure. It's not like where you are deploying, there are many projects AWS account. So for that, if you want to make sure that this infrastructure belongs to this issue to instances, so to make sure that all the resources in that infrastructure, to make in a structure way, you use cloud formation technique. So he should also able to deploy to reduce the production. So first, you will be deploying your services in test environment, and then later dev environment, and then later production environment, right? So this is what you do. So to reduce this time required for the production, you should be capable deploying the automation infrastructure by using AWS cloud formation technique. So this is what the thing. And then it is responsibility to improve the resources and work on resource tagging, discriminate cost, and thoroughly planning, budgeting, governance, and reporting. So we use tagging for different resources in the AWS, right? So how you do is like, let's say that you have created an EC2 instances. You also, after provisioning, before provisioning, you will have a tags, key and a value you have to give. So those key and value are going to help you that which project or which infrastructure that EC2 instance is going to belongs to. So it's like tagging is nothing but it's it's a name tag. I mean, like, let's say for your product, if you go to a shop, you'll get a price tag, right? So you will have in the price tag, what you have? You have key and a value. Key is equal to the cost, and the value is equal to in dollars or so certain amount, right? So that is what it's going to be. And the tags, yeah, we are talking about the tags. So those are about the tags. You should able to tell like what which resource belongs to which tags, all those kind of things. So that is what about the tags. And the commercial cloud services integral part of AWS, and creating compelling presentations that support C2S overview duties and administrator himself. So commercial cloud services means like commercial cloud services in the sense like there will be many services in AWS. There are paid services, right? So which are very costly services, which are like let us say in EC2 you have free tier as well, right? We use free tier, so low RAM and low ROM will be there. So if you're going with the high kind of commercial means, it's like T2 nano, T2 micro, not like this. It's like some other heavy, I mean, configuration if you're doing for your services, which really means like the cost is very high to use that kind of services. So those kind of services, he should able to integrate, and he should also make sure the cost optimization should be there for cost. He should also take care of the cost optimization, right? So those kind of commercial cloud he should able to manage. So that is what the role of AWS SysOps is. And for creating, managing VPCs, URL. So this also solution architect and developer also will that for creating, managing VPC, virtual private cloud, which I have been covering in area assets, like deploying VPC, the virtual private cloud, which is going to make sure that your infrastructure in a private zone and they are deployed under the subnets, and inside the subnets you have EC2 instances. And so how the traffic flow, how the HTTP request goes to, like it will go to the main access control list as a primary firewall, and then go to secondary firewall like security groups, and you should on the ports and everything, right? So those are he should able to manage, because these are the operations. So he should also know developer, and the sub guy should be also experienced in AWS solution architect as well as developer associate as well. So to communicate with NISCP network team to complete the network connections with the client VPC. So there are many things to VPC. You can connect the one VPC in AWS to another VPC, right? So VPC peering, they'll be calling VPC peering, right? And he should also able to, on premises, he should also make sure the infrastructure is on premises, he should migrate to AWS, right? Those kind of operations also he should able to do. And to efficiently monitor billing and develop cost optimization strategies. Yeah, he should able to make sure that, develop the cost optimization. So, cost explorer and these kind of things as well, right? So yeah, so he should able to make sure that he's going to there are two kind of operations you can do in this, like regarding the cost optimization. Cost optimization, you can service level cost and as well as resource level cost. Service level cost in the sense like how do I say to you is like yeah, the cost each service, let's say EC2 is an edge service, right? So and then if there are many instances in the EC2 service, those instances are called resource. Each resource has their ARN, means Amazon resource number, which is like, let us say you have deployed 10 S3 buckets. So each S3 bucket has the resource number. So it is called ARN, Amazon resource number. So 10 buckets are 10 resources. So what is S3 means? It's a service name. So what are the S3 bucket? Let's say bucket one, bucket two, bucket three. So bucket one is a resource name. So those are the resources. So basically, resources inside the service there are resources, right? So you should be able to calculate the service level cost and resource level cost. So each bucket, how much it costed, you should be able to tell that as well. Not like whole S3 bucket, how much it costed in S3 service, how much it costed. You should also able to know the service level cost for each resource number, right? So those kind of you should also make sure, because you should be able to manage the cost optimization. So some guys should look on the overview of the infrastructure. That is what he's going to do, right? So this is what is like. So add-on topics like I will be covering that managing full AWS lifecycle provisioning, automation, and security, and these kind of things I will be fully managing. Like and setting up and administrating multi-type compute systems and circumcision and configure the fine-tuned cloud infrastructure systems for performing the software package upgrades and kernel patches. The matches are very more important, and monitor the availability and performance, monitor effectively charging and cost optimization strategies, manage disaster recovery and create backups. As earlier I talked backups and disaster recovery in the sense like something is some user have deleted some resource, so you need it immediately. So yeah, in the overall before itself, the SysOps guy should able to know manage the infrastructure by taking backup of the resource, right? So that's what I'm going to tell. So maintain data integrity and access control while using AWS. So access control is I told it's the primary firewall of the virtual private cloud, right? So these all the topics I am going to cover in this session. So you'll be for understanding this AWS SysOps role, you should mostly more focus on solution architect level and developer associate level. So if you have knowledge on that, so you can crack on this course. So that's going to be so. Now I'll be explaining you difference between the what is SysOps and Solution Architect Guide 2. So that is interesting, right? So let's move to that. Let me move to that slide as well. So yeah, here is the AWS SysOps versus AWS Architect. AWS SysOps will be doing deploying, managing, and operating on AWS, and AWS Architect designing and deploying the systems on AWS. So here what he do is he will extra what he's going to do is he's going to manage the infrastructure. But architect just design and deploy. So that is the first point difference. And SysOps guys you should able to migrate an existing on-premises application to AWS, right? So he should be able to, if there are on premises, then he should able to migrate them to AWS. So what architect do is after that migrating of on premises application to AWS, once that application is come to the AWS, then he will lift that and shift the existing on premises application to AWS. So that is what the solution architect do. And the next is implementing and controlling the flow of data to and from AWS. So you should able to implement and control the flow of data. Like there will be much data right from the on premises to AWS. You should able to control that, and he will do ingress and egress of data to and from to the AWS. So these are the points which like versus what the roles of AWS architect and so it's up to this is like the general roles what these guys do. These are some of the roles of AWS SysOps as deploy, manage, and operate scalable system, select services based on data security requirements, because he should be able to like look into the security level. It's not like you should able to control like access control list, security groups, and what are the extra kind of security requirements to the infrastructure, how to manage them, how to monitor them, and all these things. How to do? You should also able to perform the analytics. Like you should be able to get the reports, like Power BI reports, or like there are many reporting services in AWS. Like through that, you're able to analyze and create the report, so that inside the report there will be all the data, like what's going on in the infrastructure, what's going on in the project, right? So that's what it's like. And identify the appropriate use of operational practices. Means appropriate use means like yeah, if something someone is deleting the resource by mistake, or something went mistake, deleting some mistake, or like some kind of action is not performed well, he should able to manage, he should take care of, he should take the responsibility. The AWS ops guy should take care of that. So identify the cost control mechanism and estimate cost, as I told you before, right? So these are all the roles of the SysOps guys. Okay. So by achieving certified SysOps administrator associate certification validates your technical expertise in deployment and managing operation AWS platform. It confirms you can understand the concepts of. So these are the concepts you should, before cracking the certification, he should able to like do these kind of things. As earlier I have been discussed the same thing, I guess, regarding the cost, regarding the control flowing data on premise, migrating on premises to AWS. These are the main roles. I think these are only the things AWS SysOps do manage. So now let's move into the the next slide. How to choose the right region, as in the SysOps guide to pricing, user, customer, security compliance, service availability, latency. These are all the things is on. So who is using AWS? So this is the different kind of category. So who uses the AWS in like which companies are you going to use AWS? So these are all the companies: Netflix, Amazon, Adobe, OpenX. Many are many. So this is what about the AWS SysOps. So now let's move into the next slide and projects. So these are the projects I already discussed. So lab setup, like we should able to, the participant should have high speed internet, desktop, laptop. So there should not be any disturbances when trainer is going to explain the sessions, right? So these what the setup should be like. And then additional courses what I am going to give you is like documents, videos. I'll be providing you the documents which is going to helpful for the next 2 years for the participant when while he's going to prepare for the projects, or those videos and documents are going to be very helpful to the participants. So these are the resources I'm going to give to the participant. Mock interviews, and the mock interviews in the sense like we conduct the mock interviews to the participants who wants to evaluate themselves before the applying for a job. So he should know that how he learned well or not, whether he have learned well or not in the course. He want to test himself, then we will provide the mock interviews as well. I mean, like we'll be asking the questions whether like how much he is going to gain the knowledge. So Yeah, so and then you will be getting specially a certificate from the MindMajix, the completion certificate of AWS SysOps. So that's what about the core certification of the MindMajix. And then thank you for attending the demo. Please share your feedback and contact us for the queries related to the course scope, schedule differences, and cost and payment options. If you have any queries, you can go through info@mindmagix.com. If it is India, you go to 9246333245, and if it is USA, 917456840 So thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Thank you.